I've been outside in 111 degrees. And I thought my makeup held up so good. I'm just gonna sit down and film, and my makeup looks fine, but this hair is a whole another story. I gotta fix it. All right, guys, I think this is more acceptable. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know, don't care anymore. Hi, thanks for stopping in. I sure appreciate it and appreciate you. And it's almost July, which means new month, new palettes. All right, guys, I think you're gonna see this video probably before you see like my monthly catch up where I let you know how last month palettes went, but that's okay. Hopefully you can forgive me. But I only have 7 palettes in this rotation, which is okay. It's okay because I'm finding that I occasionally like to dip into other palettes, and I have a lot of pans in this rotation. So I don't know, we're gonna see, but I'm leaving that range open for me to drag in more palettes. I'm still playing with the Natasha Denona Golden palette, which I'm absolutely loving. So that just gives me that space to bring that in. But first up here in the rotation is the Jurassic Park Profusion palette. This is very much a summery palette, and I thought it was kind of funny that I chose a Jurassic Park shirt for this video today. But Jurassic Park is a fave, you guys. It's a fave, so I absolutely picked this up. Sometimes it still sings when I open it. Ooh, it sounds terrible. It's starting to die. But that's what she looks like. I'm just going to give you guys a quick peek so that I'm not screaming over the speaker. It's definitely a year old. This came out last summer. This is what it looks like when you open it up if you haven't seen this before. And it has the Jurassic Park theme when you open it. Can you hear it freaking out? It's wigging out. But yeah, so this is up in the rotation. I have used a couple shades in this already in this year. So I don't need to hit all of these pans for this rotation. I've used the greens in here, and I think I touched a couple purples, but it's definitely going to be in the rotation. I'm going to try and hit every pan in this. It's a very summery palette, very appropriate for right now. So we're going to try and finish this one up in this rotation. Next up is... It's a summer palette, and it came out, I believe, in May of last year. This is the Nomad Okavango Safari palette. Oh, this beautiful color story. Look at this. Just look at this. Just look at her. Isn't she beautiful? I'm trying a new filming technique where it's like a portrait mode, so it's blurring my background. So it's kind of blurring my palettes here. Let me see if I can... kind of blurring my palettes because it's not catching my face. But so yes, I have already completed probably about a third of this palette because I have used this row and this shade. But to me, this is just a very summer vibes kind of palette. You've got greens, you've got warm neutrals, you've got cool neutrals. So I'm really feeling this right now. We're going to use up every shade in this month. So Nomad. Next up here, I don't necessarily feel or see, or it doesn't scream summer, but it's definitely something I want to use, and this just kind of felt like the right time to pull this in to give me some variety for the month. And this is the Sigma Untamed palette. I've had this, oh gosh, a long time. I think it's been discontinued. There's been rumors it's been popping up at TJ Maxx again. I know it popped up last year. I haven't seen it personally, but this is the color story. It's the Sigma Untamed. I feel like these are very vibrant summery colors on this side. I kind of feel like these are summery colors on this side. Just kind of depends on what you feel is a summery color. I feel like I can get away with this in the spring or summer. It's mostly neutral with a couple pops of blue and purple. But so I'm going to pull this one into the rotation, see if I can use it up. I adore the Sigma formula. It is amazing. It's perfectly pigmented in my humble opinion, and it performs really well. It has great lasting power. It blends unbelievably easy. So I have a special place in my heart for the Sigma formula. It's not my all-time favorite color story, but the formula is what keeps this one in my collection. This quad right here, and then these shades over here. Actually, this quad, realistically. So this quad right here and this quad right here are the ones that I typically stay in. I don't use these blues and purples or the reds very much. Reds scare me. Blues are just not something that I love to wear. I will wear them, but I don't love it. So this will force me to go out of my comfort zone this month. Another one here. This is actually a pretty popular palette as far as the one that it's duping. It's an alter ego dupe. It is supposedly an alternative or a dupe for the Natasha Denona bronze palette, which I do not own. And I'm glad I don't, and that I have the more affordable option from Alter Ego. This is the Canyon palette. I probably should have told you that first. Canyon palette. Here's my beef with this one. While it is a very beautiful color story, for me, it's all mid-tone. There's a light shade here and a dark shade there, but the rest of it is just purely mid-tone, and I just feel like I need more out of it. So I'm glad I didn't pay the $69 price point for the Natasha version, even though her formula is absolutely worth that price point. I enjoy this color story. It's all of my favorite, like, you know, warm tones, but to me, it's just lacking some depth that I wish. And I feel like a lot of these mid-tone shades look the same on the eyes. Like, for example, this one and this one are pretty similar. These are pretty similar. These are pretty similar. I just kind of feel like it's just lacking some variety and some depth, which I know a lot of people feel that way about the Golden palette as well. So I don't know. I love these colors. I love this color story. I just wish it had a little more depth to it, but I'm very happy to have this in my collection. I'm very excited to use it. I have a Colourpop palette here. The California Love by Colourpop. The epitome of summer in a palette, sure, absolutely. And I just stuck my finger in the pressed glitter. Wipe that off there. So here is what she looks like. See, this is more of what I kind of wish the bronze palette had, which I know it's funny that I have this and the Canyon palette in this rotation, but summer, man. Summer, I think really warm tones, and the oranges and the golds give me those warm tones. So this is what this one here looks like for you. Now, this one is a pressed glitter right here, this El Capitan shade. I have a pressed glitter on my eyes today. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. I don't love the pressed glitters. I don't love them. I don't love them. They're okay. And I will use them for my no pan left behind purpose, but I don't love them. I don't love them. And last, in my typical warm tones for summer, I'm feeling the all matte looks. I've done quite a few here lately, so I wanted to pull in a more neutral leaning palette that I could decide if I'm going to keep in my collection or declutter based on what I already have. Makeup by Mario. Excuse me. Got a little tickle there. This is the Milani Whiskey Business palette. So this one I've taken with me traveling. It is a great little travel palette, with it being all matte. Here is my beef, if you will, with this one. These two dark shades, this one looks like it has more of a purpley leaning base to it. This one is more of like a truer neutral brown. Sorry, I'm kind of going out of focus here a lot. But they look the same on the eyes. You don't really see a difference with these two. And then I'm going to flip this upside down so that my cover's not blinding you guys. So these two look the same, even though in the pan they look like they could be different, but these two look the same. And then these two look the same. You would think that they've got different depth levels. They really don't. I mean, here's what those two mid-tone browns look like that I told you. Honestly, like, they do have a different undertone and a little bit different depth, but on the eyes, in my opinion, it's not enough to be different. Let me get these two darker shades for you. So there's the two darker shades. Once they're picked up and applied on the eyes, they really don't have that much of a difference in undertone. See that? So in the pan, this is the one that looks more purple, and this is the one more neutral brown. And they're just not different enough. They're just not different enough on the eyes. So I'm trying to determine whether Milani Whiskey Business is going to stay in the collection. And since I am loving all matte looks right now, this is a good time to pull this in to help make that decision for me. The formula on this particular one is decent. It's not fantastic. It's decent. I'm happy to travel with it, and it's okay. It's okay. I'm leaving the swatches on my hand because I'll just be really real with you. I'm too lazy to take it off at the moment. And then I do have one other palette in this rotation. This is not my typical summer colors. This is not typical Michaela colors in any way, shape, or form. You might be like, why did you get that, Mac? Why? I'll tell you why. First, it's the Natasha Denona Xenon palette, okay? This is like a Winter Wonderland palette, okay? I picked it up because it was on sale at Sephora for half off, And I've got a little bit of a collector's mentality, especially with my favorite brands. I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. But I wanted something out of my comfort zone. I wanted something different. I wanted something new. And Natasha, we gotta talk about the package choices, man, because fingerprints, dude, fingerprints. Almost like this one, the golden palette, like the fingerprints, man. They look real nice. All right, guys, short, sweet, to the point. I have, did I count correctly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 palettes. 7 palettes for this rotation, which leaves a little bit of room for some jumping around if I want to do that. I've noticed lately that even though I love the palettes I have in my rotation, once in a while I like to dip out of the rotation. Like today I am wearing the Colourpop off Melrose, which is not part of my June rotation, but I completed June's rotation, so I pulled this guy in. And today I have, let's see, this one right here in the crease, this one in the outer corner, this one mid-lid, and this one inner corner. And you can see it's definitely a pressed glitter. And it's all over my face. And I've been picking off glitter particles off my face all day long. Whatever. Okay, but thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I sure appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. Later much.